And in the kitchen now with Executive Chef Mike O'Hare from the Green Onion Restaurant in Virginia Beach this morning, making two dishes involving monkfish. Welcome back to the show, Chef. And I have to show your arm first.
Yes,
you're doing these dishes.
Little gimp.
Yeah, with a little bit of a problem. Hope you're going to feel okay.
Oh, I'm fine.
Broken?
Yes.
Broken. Okay. In any case, you've done all this 1.5-handed kind of thing, right?
Correct. I've been working 1.5-handed, so making it work.
Busy guy.
Making it work.
Thanks for being here. We appreciate
Thank you.
that.
Thanks for having me.
Talking about the monkfish, here you have that here. What other ingredients do you have for the dish?
The first monkfish I'm doing is a Monkfish Rumaki, and it's essentially monkfish sautéed in bacon fat with a little bit of honey Dijon and some radicchio. It's basically a play on one of these monkfish, and I've dusted the monkfish in a bunch of seasonings, Old Bay. I've got a little paprika, cayenne, dusted in some flour, salt and pepper. So that's going to help the cooking process. So we will get started. It
sounds delicious.
Sauteing.
So that's we've got a hot pan going
Correct.
here.
Hot
and
pan.
some bacon.
This is thick cut applewood smoked bacon. So what I'm going to do is render the fat, take the bacon out, keep the fat in. Essentially is my oil, and I'm going to saute the fish in that. We're going to finish it in the oven.
Oh, okay. What do you do with the bacon once you take it out?
We're going to take it out and toss it back in with the radicchio as we're plating.
Okay, so everything is going to be used.
Exactly.
Does it take you a little longer to get things done in the kitchen?
A little bit. A little bit
of an adjustment.
Exactly.
All right, let me help you if I can. I can stir.
Sure. We're going to
pretty much all I can do. So this, how long does this take?
As soon as the bacon starts to brown and the grease comes out, the fat, we're going to take the bacon back out. We're going to saute our radicchio up, and we're going to start with our fish.
Radicchio, talk about what that is.
Radicchio is almost like a cabbage. It's red, small.
Oh, I've seen them in salads and things like that. Okay, just
there's a lot in spring mix and a lot of other things. So.
Very, very nice. Now, what is it about monkfish that you enjoy working with? And I mean, you were able to find two dishes to make with it.
Well, it's really versatile. They call monkfish the poor man's lobster. It's got the same texture as lobster, really buttery, and so it's really easy to work with, very versatile. There's a lot of things we can do with it, and it's a good fish. It's in season right now.
Not as pricey, so
exactly. It's something a little more affordable, and something we're running at the restaurant is special right now.
Oh, so. Very nice, very nice. Okay.
Turn this up a little bit.
All right, this is beginning to smell really, really good.
Yeah, once this starts to cook down, like I said, the fat comes out, we'll strain that, and then we will start with our fish, and then we will finish it in the oven.
This is a pretty simple dish, of course.
Correct.
And then the other monkfish dish that you have made, how does that differ?
It's kind of more of a traditional Italian, Spanish, what I'm doing with the other. Monkfish is a really popular fish in Spain, so it's more of a take on those kind of flavors. It's just... It's basically a braised fish I'm doing with the marinara in the other one. Cool.
We'll talk about that coming up in the next segment. In the meantime, we're going to cook this down. This looks like it might take a little bit of time.
It's going to take another minute.
Take out the bacon and then put in the fish itself.
Correct.
And then put it in the oven. What kind of heat do you have going on?
The oven, I have a convection 350, and we're just going to, a little too high, it'll dry the fish out. So we're going to keep a nice temp to cook slow and low. All
right. Very good. Thanks very much, Mike. We're trying to save your hand right now. So we'll come back and talk about the next monkfish dish coming up in our next cooking segment.
Great. Thank you.
All right, back in the Hampton Roadshow kitchen, you can see right there, monkfish dish number 1 is in the oven, and Chef Mike, you you cooked it up in the bacon fat, right?
I did. We used bacon fat, sauteed a little bit of radicchio with a little bit of honey mustard.
Oh, okay.
I've taken all that back out, and I'm going to retoss that right as I'm plating the fish up when it comes out of the oven.
So that one stays out of the heat.
Correct. We're going to wilt that right as we're going to plate, and that's almost kind of a garnish.
So that is done. Now the second dish that we're working on also has the main ingredient as monkfish, and this one is different. More traditional, right?
Correct. This is traditional. It's more of a braised fish instead of seared or baked in the oven. We're going to essentially, it's going to be cooking in its own juices in the white wine and marinara and all our vegetables too. So it's
very good. Hot right there. What kind of oil do you have in there already?
Olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. Starting with the little fine.
Oh.
Nice and
I'm going to help you stir because I'm worried about your hand though. Honestly, is it hurt a lot?
No, it doesn't hurt. And I've been working in the kitchen every day, so that's So
no break for you.
Least of my worries.
Well, the thing is you have a pretty big event coming up next week, so I mean, probably that's why you haven't been able to take a break, right?
Right. Taste of Hampton Roads. It's a really big event. It's the 29th of this month, and something that a lot of restaurants are going to be in. It's supporting the food bank. It's a charity event, so it's going to be good.
It's a wonderful event.
It is.
People who create food, helping people who who don't have
yes, exactly.
as much. You put some mushrooms in there. I think you mentioned that.
Mushrooms, onions, some tomatoes, and we're going to let that go for a little bit. We're going to deglaze with the white wine and then start our poaching with the fish. This
smells really, really good. I guess it's just the fresh ingredients. It seems like this could be a base for other dishes.
Could be a base for a lot of things. And this is, like I said, this is more of kind of a Spanish take. So it's, we're going to just go off that. I got our monkfish right here.
Very, very good. We're going to put the ingredients and all the details of both of these dishes at thehamptonroadshow.com. Now this one, did you prepare this one differently? I guess the other one you coated in flour.
Correct.
And other seasonings, but this one is just straight up.
This one's just straight up, and with the monkfish, they have a membrane on it.
Oh, right.
So you have to clean it. Monkfish is one of the ugliest fish in the sea, so you have to, we're going to make it look pretty, make it taste good.
No offense. But taking off that membrane, I mean, that's pretty important. If you leave it on, what happens? It just doesn't taste very good?
Yeah, it's just not something you really want to eat. You could, but it's just, doesn't help the quality of the dish by any means.
Just a few extra minutes, right, in the preparation part.
Yeah, maybe another minute, and we're going to deglaze and start the braising process.
Very, very good. How long does the other monkfish stay in the oven?
Since we pan sauteed already, the other monkfish in the oven maybe 5 to 7 minutes, depending on the size of the fish.
Okay.
So.
Okay, so we're running out of time. What happens once this step is done?
As soon as all this is done, we're going to deglaze with the white wine, add our fish,
straight into the pot?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
And then we're going to cover it and let it simmer for 8 to 9 minutes until finished.
Fantastic. We're going to plate all of that up and then talk about some happenings over at the Green Onion in Virginia Beach. We'll talk about that coming up in our next cooking segment. Chef Mike, thanks.
Thank you.
Back in the kitchen with Chef Mike O'Hare, the Green Onion in Virginia Beach, monkfish dish number 1 out of the oven. That looks pretty good. Of course, that's what you intended, of course.
Yes, let's hope so.
The bacon that you pulled out earlier, because remember we used the fat earlier, the actual bacon pieces are back in the pot, or in the pan.
Correct.
And then the radicchio goes in there?
We're going to add the radicchio, if you want to spoon the rest of that honey mustard in.
And this, what kind of recipe would you suggest for the honey mustard?
Just a nice Dijon mustard and a little bit of honey. You can make your own depending on how.
Okay. Simple?
Yes, exactly.
And this honey mustard, did you use that anywhere else in this dish?
I did. I glazed the fish with it. That's why it has a little...
Okay. I couldn't remember, but I thought maybe. Really a dish with very few ingredients, to be honest.
Exactly. So it's very versatile. There's a lot of different things you can do with it.
Yeah, no, I like that. If people, for example, they don't want to use necessarily the monkfish, want to use another fish, do you think you could substitute that?
Easily. And then if they don't want to use the radicchio, you can use spinach, arugula, anything else that... you would like, basically.
It's kind of the honey mustard that gives it the kick.
Exactly.
All right, very
it's
good.
more of the bacon fat that gives it the...
Oh, that's true.
The flavor we're looking for.
Yeah, but you came to the right place. Certainly the Buzz Brigade loves their bacon. That's a nice bed right there. For folks who aren't familiar with where the Green Onion is in Virginia Beach, where are you located?
We are located 1336 North Great Neck Road. So essentially the corner of First Colonial and Great Neck.
Kind of that hilltop area?
Exactly.
Okay, very, very nice. And as we get into the warmer months, I mean, people may have been in hibernation over the winter, so they'll come out and find you. Anything going on there that you want to talk about?
Yeah, we actually have, like we mentioned earlier, Taste of Hampton Roads, which is a big event, something we're really looking forward to. It's Jimmy Buffett themed, so we can go on and on as far as ideas there. But I'm excited. It's going to be good for us to showcase that, me and the Kali restaurant, we are teaming up together and working.
Very nice.
So yeah, it's going to be good. I'm really looking forward to it.
But folks can find you at your Virginia Beach location. So that's dish number 1, and then number 2, the braised monkfish. You think it's done?
Yeah.
We're going to say it's done. It's been cooking in juices. You put the monkfish in after you put some white wine in there.
White wine, a little bit of homemade marinara we made. It's got some thyme in it, some fresh basil. So essentially it's going to be going over the orzo pasta. It's almost like a puttanesca, but kind of more of a Spanish style. So it'll be good. I need a big
plate.
bowl.
a big bowl. Let me see what I can do to find one. As far as how long that takes, how would you say to get the flavor that you want?
Depending on the size of the fish, we're essentially just braising it, so it's a pretty quick process.
Okay. Hopefully I don't break anything here. Here you go. Do you think this will work?
That'll work. Thank you.
And then the orzo pasta, that's a nice touch, because that'll go at the bottom.
Exactly. So we got the orzo we've already done.
Okay, so that'll go on the bottom, then the sauces and the fish itself will be on top.
Correct.
Fantastic. We're going to plate all this up and prepare some smaller dishes so that we can take a bite of both of them. Chef Mike, thanks very much.
Great. Thank you for having me.
And